What's up, guys? I'm Anthony, and welcome to Life with Anthony. Happy Thursday to you guys. I hope everyone is doing well out there. All right, guys, so you know how when you're upset and you call your family, your friends, and you rant and you listen to everybody's thoughts and opinions on your situation, and you hope that all of your good friends agree with you and tell you things that will make you feel better and everything, and kind of calm you down a little bit. Well, yesterday I did that. I called a few of my friends and I ranted to them and I told them the situation. And I have this one friend that we probably have been friends for about 20, 25 years. And he is that one friend that most of the time I call him and tell him about something that went on in my life. He is that friend that always says the complete opposite of what I want to hear. You know, you guys got that type of friend that but those are the type of friends that you love to have, because they will, not that other friends don't tell you the cold-hearted truth. He always gives me a different perspective of my situation. And I'll tell you about what he and I talked about and what he suggested that I do. But also I talked to another friend of mine, and our conversation is the topic, or not topic, is the question that I wanted to ask you guys, because we could not come up with a concrete answer. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to ask my YouTube family and see if any of them have any different information than what we came up with. But before I get into those two conversations, I just wanted to say this to you guys. I am not the get rid of type of employee. You know, I am a great worker. I have great work ethics and everything. Everything that they did to me makes sense to me. Even though I don't want to go on the stacker, I'm fighting it tooth and nail, it makes sense, because I am the only road tender that is not familiar with the stacker. So it makes sense that we have this extra guy, and it is a great opportunity for them to put me on the stacker and become more familiar with the stacker. I don't think they did anything wrong. Just like the supervisor said to me during our conversation, I act as though it's a punishment of some sort. And I did yesterday for a quick minute, but the truth of the matter is that's their system. That's the way they set up their system. At that job, all the road tenders have to become familiar and be familiar with the stacker, whether I like it or not. That's their system that they have put in place. So yes, yesterday or the day before yesterday, when they told me to go on the stacker and train, I had a moment, because it's just something that I don't want to do, you know. So for those of you out there, or at least one comment justified this part of my conversation, that, you know, they could be using this as a way of getting rid of me. No, they're not. I am not get rid of Anthony material. Jobs like having me there. I'm a good worker, etc., etc. Now, let's talk about these two conversations briefly that I had with my friends yesterday. The first one was the guy that I just now talked about. He suggested, first he asked me, did I have any vacation time? And I said, well, I'm scheduled 4 days off next week. He said, I will use all my vacation time first before I leave. I said, okay, that's true. Because I was ready to go up in there today with my letter of resignation and tell them that in 2 weeks, September the 10th, as I mentioned to you guys in my yesterday video, that I was going to be done. But then, again, he's my friend that gives me a different perspective of things. He said, I will use all my vacation time first. I said, okay. And then he said, I would even go as far as staying there a couple weeks and getting 1 or 2 more overtime checks, because we are in full overtime mode and everything. And he was like, you in the apartment until the end of September. Why not just stay until at least the end of September, get some good checks under your belt. Then you will even have a check going into October if you know, stay till, you know, and he was just, you know, giving me some things to think about because my headspace at the time was just quit, 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 you know, and not think, 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 think. So he kind of settled me down a little bit more, and then he was like, you're in the you're leaving the apartment. You're going to have no rent after I pay my check, pay my rent in a few days. I will have no rent. He said you will have no more rent. You know, if you can tolerate it and deal with it, you should just go ahead and stay at till the end of the year because you're going to have an opportunity to get a good start on saving those rent checks that you were not going to have, you know, October, November, December. And he said just leave after the end of the year. You get a whole full year in there and just leave then. And he got me to thinking, of course, you know. But then the problem I have with that is if I stay that much longer, I might just go ahead and settle in and not going, you know, not leaving. You know, I'm pretty sure my training is not going to go for 4 months or whatever, and I'll be back in my regular position. Then I'm going to start thinking, okay, well, maybe I won't leave and this, that, and the other. And I want to leave. I do. I want to leave. And he was like, you should just go ahead and wait it out for a little bit and see what their actual plans are for you. See how long they keep you on the stacker. If they keep you on the stacker for, you know, longer than you really want to be on there or whatnot, you know, just go ahead and leave then. But don't just leave now because, you know, you were just kind of upset. So it all made sense. So at this point in time, I kind of took a step back and was like, okay, what he said makes sense, you know. Get some more time in there, kind of benefit from not having rent after this month, at least a little bit. So that was our conversation with him. That was my conversation with him. And then the conversation that I had with my female friend of mine, who she and I have been friends with. All of my friends I've had for like 20 plus years. And what we talked about was, my other friend who I just now mentioned, he brought this question up, and then I brought it up to my female friend. And he told me that, he said, well, they might get rid of you or let you go when you put your 2 weeks notice in. Because he said jobs do that. They don't, some jobs don't allow the person to do the 2 weeks, you know, because they may not want to pay you, you know, 2 more weeks of work or whatever. And that's the question that I wanted to have for you. Now, the question that I have for you guys is, and this is what my female friend and we talked about, and she was Googling it while we were talking, but we still didn't come up with a concrete answer. And the question is, if I put in my 2 weeks notice and they call me up, let's say I put my 2 weeks notice in on a Friday, and they call me up Monday and say that I don't have to come back, can I collect unemployment? Because in my opinion, they fired me before, even though I have the intent on leaving in 2 weeks, quitting in 2 weeks. If they let me go before my 2 weeks is up, can I collect unemployment? That's the big question and I mean, it matters to me in a little way, because if I can collect unemployment if they do that, I see no reason why they should do that, because if I'm collecting unemployment from them, and that's another question that I feel like I should know the answer to, but I don't know the answer to, and that's, who pays for unemployment when a person is fired from a job and go to collect unemployment? So 2 questions there. You know, can I collect unemployment? if I put my 2 weeks notice in and they call me up and say, hey, we don't need you to come back, and then who pays for unemployment? The company? So if you guys have any information on that or any concrete answers on that, let me know in the comments, because I'm very interested to know if, you know, I can collect unemployment, because that would kind of change things for me. You know, I don't think they would let me go, because generally they will let, from my experience, because I do personally know 2 other situations in my work life that involved other people that they gave their 2 weeks notice and the company let them go prior to the 2 weeks being up. And that's what my friend brought up to me, and I was like, I don't know, you know, but it can change things for me if they do let me go and I can collect unemployment, you know, because let me tell you, unemployment up this way, unlike in Maryland, Maryland unemployment is just $430 a week. Up here in Jersey, their unemployment is like $711 a week. You think I won't sit around for 6 months and do all the things that they want me to do to get that $700? Yes, I will. But anyway, that's the 2 questions. If you have any information in the comment section, feel free to let me know and let everybody else know. Some other people who might not have thought of that and would like to know the answers to it as well. I would appreciate it, but as for now, thank you guys for taking a few minutes out of your day to watch my videos. I appreciate you guys, you know that, and I'll talk to you guys soon.